Hello, and welcome back to another episode of one of your favorite podcasts, Chat Chat. Here today, we have a very amazing story to be continued. Join us here with me to co-host. I have my dear teacher, David.
Hello,
Hello.
hello, guys. Thank you so much for having me here again.
Yes, there we go. So we are very excited to hear the second part of the story, which teacher April was telling us. So here with us is our dearest friend, April. Hello, teacher April.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me as a guest today. I actually really enjoyed it last time. You're very good hosts, guys.
There we go.
Ah,
Yeah,
Thanks to
I
you.
left feeling all good with myself. I was like, oh, they're so nice.
Yeah, I love talking about myself,
I like it. What can I say?
Yeah. There you go. There you go. So let's start with a little recap about where we left with the story on the first part.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Uh-huh.
the first part, I think we were taking a look at more of my experience through the learning before being
Yes.
out there, right?
Yeah.
Totally exposed to surviving things. And I really like the turn that it took because that's what the experience meant for me, the one that I'm going to talk about today. It was a lot of personal growth, gaining self-confidence, and learning to forgive myself and have a better relationship with myself. And, eventually that also helps in the other parts of life,
Yeah.
Yes.
Did I miss anything? Was
No,
that
I
a good
think
recap?
no. I think it was correct. Yeah. We took a look at like the overall experience of first learning in, and today we're gonna see like the second part, like the mastering part of the language,
Yeah,
right?
and the background before is really important to also know your feelings towards English before,
Mhm.
right? Very important too.
Yeah, totally. Because working that out, I think, sets you in a good start
Mhm.
towards like a better learning of it or mastering, as you say it. I don't know if I
Yeah.
mastered it, but thank you.
Well, you're
Well,
C2.
I mean, if we have like a paper to like prove it, you already have it. That's good. There you
Oh,
go.
Yeah, so
stop.
so
But no,
reminder
continue.
reminder for everyone um to test your English, right?
Yeah.
With
Oh, yeah.
with this kind of a certification so that you can say, you know what? Here I have my proof.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
at the
totally.
end of the day, we cannot quantify English as a percentage, for example, which is pretty normal on regular jobs. They go
Mhm.
like, how much English do you
Like
speak? And you go like,
70%. Like what is
Yeah.
70%?
I'm on a 78.5%, almost to a 0.6, but it's impossible. We don't even 100% of Spanish.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the best way to prove your English skills is certification for your CV. My God, it's like the cherry on top of the cake, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah, totally.
there you go. Awesome. Very good recommendations.
So teacher April, like where does the second part of the story, when does the other journey, the other big journey begins?
Yeah. Well, well, I was in high school. I studied um, ecotourism, I
Mhm.
think would be the term in English.
Mhm.
Um, and there we had a teacher who would take us on trips and like camping trips. We would go bird watching, all these things related to La Paz and its nature
Mhm.
and getting to know it and respecting it, taking care of it. And that teacher, uh, Profe Lupita, shout out to her. She's so amazing.
Wherever you are, thank you so much.
Yeah, I hope you're listening. Profe Lupita, you're awesome. And she would be really in touch with this organization in La Paz. It is called EPI,
Mhm.
which is Ecology Project International.
Mhm.
And EPI, its all purpose, the purpose of the organization is to be, creating courses and inviting their young the youngsters of the town to get involved with our ecosystem and getting to know it and how to help, preserving it in the best way possible. And while I was in high school, there was this trip. So I went to Espiritu Santo Island. We went to different places, camping and everything. I recommend that a lot as well if you're in high school and EPI is still around. If you're in high school and EPI is still around, creating the courses and taking everyone out, take that opportunity. It is awesome. And while I was there was this special program with another organization in La Paz called Ni Paraja, which also works towards helping out the environment, preserving it, helping it out. They came together and created this special trip to Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
All right.
For a summer camp, which was all related to biology, geology, geography, all of these nature related sciences. Funny story, there was also another program which was directed to arts in that same place. And as people may know, I actually ended up studying fine arts as my college degree, but I took the other one because it lasted one more week.
and let's say, well, something that caught my attention in this part of your story is that Wyoming is not like a usual place to take like a course, right? Because if you think about it, most schools would like to go, I don't know, to California, like to Disneyland or to another place in the US, but Wyoming, I don't imagine that.
Yeah, because near Jackson Hole, where we were, we could go to Yellowstone, the national
okay,
park,
yeah.
pretty easily. And also in Jackson Hole, there are these beautiful mountains, the Tetons, and the place is out of whatever I could have imagined, honestly, because we grew up in the desert, right? In the beach
Mostly.
and in the desert. And over there it was forest, with actual pine trees and pine cones and like this big,
like sequoias and all of
yeah. One of my favorite trees now, the aspen trees, and in the hills, and the hills were muddy and they were not dry soil, it was and also mountains. I mean, you have no idea how altitude affects you. Really, because we live in like the sea level, and over there, wow, it was also a testing experience, like of my own
like
strength,
physically,
mental and physical. Yes, because getting that out of breath feeling is something else.
So now let's talk about how you used your English in that like course or expedition, we could call it.
Okay, so yeah, actually I think English was one of the keys, or the key that one of them. It was not the one that got me to actually take the trip, because in that trip we competed in La Paz for a scholarship to be able to take that trip. And the flights, the stay, the course itself, and we had interviews. We presented like a project or like an opinion letter, and in the interview, it was the last step. It was an all English interview with native speakers, because over there was not Spanish speaking people. If we were in California, like the other summer camps that you were talking about, it's very close to Mexico. There's a lot of people that speak Spanish there, but Wyoming is in the middle northern area. So Spanish managed to get there somehow, but in a very, very small percentage, and it was all like you were thrown into English, and there was not another way. And I remember in my interview they asked me like, it was about like what we presented of our nature interests and also about English itself. And they asked me like, oh, you speak very good English, right? And because as I told you last episode, I was really about throwing myself into the experience and using my English. And oh, you have very good English, right? Have you lived abroad or something? And I was like, no, never. I just practice it a lot. And yeah, and they asked me, how do you do it, or what do you do when you don't know a word? Because a science camp was going to be a lot of technical specialized words. And well, I explained one of my processes that I probably talked about before, that I when I don't know exactly the word, I ask about it. If they tell me the word again, I ask for a description, or I give an example of what I thought it is, and then people correct me, right? Also, learning from context, I got that one from one of the teachers in the camp in the United States, because he was like getting technical about botanics, right? And oh yeah, the tree and this and that, and he threw a word that I never heard of before, but I let him keep going, and I figured out the meaning from the context. And then he noticed that he said a word that was weird, and I was not like a native, but like an English speaker. And he asked, do you know this word? And I was like, no, no, first time I've ever heard
but
it.
I managed.
Yeah. Like, and what do you think it means? He was like, let's see what happened here. And I was like, oh, well, because you said that we were talking about the tree, and a few moments ago, you taught us that the tree part is like this part of the word is similar to this one that you said. And with the rest of the context, I figured it's this. He just stared at me like, what? Like, eyes wide open, like, well, yeah, that's exactly what the word is, but don't do it again, just ask.
Pretty
a lot of steps.
Pretty interesting. Actually, fun fact from there, Germanic languages are very common to be, like pieces of other words, and they are combined, and then you have a different meaning related to another one, which also provide us with a lot of insight about the meaning just by reading the word or relating it to other words. So that's pretty interesting how it works on our favor, of course.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Then I could probably manage learning German.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's common actually. People that already know either German or English, when they are trying to learn the other language, it's commonly easier. There are words that are very similar to they have similar words. Also, of course, people are surprised that in French and English we have so many common words, right? Yeah. And we can use them. There's also do you know that we have Spanglish?
Yeah.
French have franglais, which is the combination, of both.
All right.
Interesting.
So maybe we can do a whole course in French.
I mean, hopefully, I don't know.
Let's research about that. So,
yeah.
What about at the end? What kind of experiences did you take out of the course?
Well, as I was saying, I think because when I went, I think my English level in general was already kind of good. Like I could manage understanding most of the conversations in the classes. And I think because of that, because I did my homework, like quote unquote, did my homework beforehand. I practiced, I worked on it. I wasn't focused on the learning of the English while I was on the trip. I could actually focus on using it as a tool to learn all these new things on biology, geology, geography, and like also getting to know other people. I mean, this program actually received people from all over the world. It was not just American people. I had classmates from Nepal,
Mhm.
and I got classmates from, I think, were Dominican Republic as
Mhm.
well. I mean, there were people from, just a few examples, right? There were people from all over the world, all over the United States themselves, Vermont, New York. There were people from California, from Montana, which was like really close by. And it really opened my mind up to so much more things. When I was a teenager, I was very good at studying.
Mhm.
And nerd. I was very good at studying, but but I was really insecure about a lot of things with myself, my own person.
Mhm.
And opening up to all of these different kind of thinking really helped me build confidence in myself, and actually acknowledging that where I was, or what I was okay, and there was no problem with it, and I could make mistakes, as we were talking about last time.
Mhm.
And it's all part of the learning process of, let alone learning a language or biology terms, life, learning about life itself and enjoying it. I really,
Appreciating.
really, yeah, I really, really recommend you guys, like anyone, to go camping or go be with nature, because
Mhm.
I think that is the place where you can really connect with yourself. I think it's the trip that really changed my life in terms of what happened internally.
Mhm.
And that really gave me a better outlook on how I take on anything that comes uh, towards me. It really is. It is a big opportunity that I think we all owe to ourselves.
That
Exactly.
sounds
So
like very
yeah, and I can imagine like you felt like empowered at the end,
Oh,
being like in your language, in your other language, in English, about life, like you said, about connection with nature. So I think it's a really, really good opportunity. And as we always tell you guys, the ones that are listening or watching, to go ahead, throw yourselves out there, because
mhm.
you're not gonna regret it, right?
Yeah, it is only a big bunch of opportunities to get better at something. You just have to try. Like, if you don't make the mistakes, it is harder to find the learning in the process. Like, you have to go through it, and it will get better eventually.
Hmm.
Were you
Yeah.
nervous during all this trip, like in a situation or something that in which you were actually like really nervous, or you were feeling or helped you feel more confident during that trip?
I think at the beginning I was nervous because of all of these, "Oh, I'm going to meet so many new people from wherever places, and oh, I hope I understand all of what they're saying." And because the camp was actually really rigorous in the matter of camping, you
Hmm.
had to had like hiking and trekking experience.
Okay.
Hiking is like, oh, let's go later today through this hill, and
Hmm.
we go have snacks and then come back. And trekking is when you take like this big bag with sleeping bags with your tents and food for days, and you go hiking through a lot of days. So
Hmm.
that's the little difference between the two. And I had never trekked before.
Mhm.
So I was really nervous that I was going to be fit enough to be trekking around the mountains, because it was really mountains that we walked for
Yeah.
like 6 7 days, 8 miles a day, going up and down on the snow and then on soil and on like
Different
valleys,
terrains. Yeah.
everything. Yeah, actually one time we were kind of close to a bear and its
Okay.
little cub. Yeah, that was scary.
Oh,
That was scary, but amazing either way,
yeah.
honestly.
I bet. I imagine. Yeah.
Hmm.
All right. So thank you so much, Teacher April, for sharing your experience,
Yes.
Thank you.
for encouraging our students to go out there and throw themselves out there. so that they can achieve great things, right?
That's the goal. Yes. Yeah,
All
that's the
right.
goal. Someone could get encouraged to do something different and push outside the comfort zone. My work's done. Just go for it, guys. Live it to the fullest.
Yeah, probably the hardest step is the first one. Once you are
Mhm.
over that first step, everything is like sometimes downhill.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it gets quite easy. You create the new comfort zone in that place that was out of the comfort zone once. So then you have to find something else to push it again, push the boundaries, create new ones.
Mhm.
Yep.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Awesome. Great. I really like
Yeah.
that side of the story is like, like inside your head going. I
Oh,
was trying to imagine everything, right?
Yeah. The mountains and everything.
Yes, yes, everything.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, teacher April.
yeah.
Before we go, we would like to remind everyone where they can find us. So they can find us Facebook, Instagram, here in YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe. Tell us about your experience. Leave us a comment. Leave a like as well. Also, we're on Instagram, TikTok with Teacher Pablo, who is doing an amazing content, bite-sized lessons, so that you can check them out. Also, in all of the podcast platforms, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and everywhere that you want, right? So, also before we go, I would like Teacher Carlos, if you could mention some of the fans that we have this week.
Yeah, sure. Our fans from Instagram, remember that we are always watching your likes or your interactions or your comments. One is Maria Prut Home.
Yes.
Thank you very much for watching, for liking and commenting.
Thank you, Maria.
And also for Miss Isabel Rieke, which is actually a friend who is
Yeah,
also a teacher. She's an English
yeah.
teacher from kindergarten.
Hmm.
She actually makes amazing, like reality
Lessons, yeah.
materials, and
Hmm.
Mhm.
she's very didactic. I really like that. So a shout out to Miss Isabel Rieke. I hope you're doing well. And
Thank
thank
you.
you very much, guys, for watching, and see you on the next one.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.